the chairperson and members of the Board of Commissioners of the National Elections Commission, members of the Fourth Estate, local and international media groups here present. We'd like to welcome you to the headquarters of the National Elections Commission, where the chairperson will now address the media. The chairperson of the National Elections Commission, Liberia Brown Lanson.
Fellow commissioners, fellow Liberians, members of the press, local and international observers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. The National Elections Commission wishes to congratulate all registered voters who turned out on yesterday, Tuesday, 8 December 2020, to vote in the special senatorial elections, constitutional referendum, and the 2 representative by-elections. The NEC also extends thanks to all temporary staff for their dedication and service to the nation. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, the Commission is pleased to report that the polls opened in most places on time and counting of votes started immediately following the close of the polls. The counting was done in the presence of the candidates' representatives, the media, and other observers. The result from each polling place was recorded on a document known as the record of the count, the original of which count was placed in a tamper evidence envelope known as T3 for onward submission to the tally center in each county. The 2 candidates with the higher number of votes at each polling place received copies of the count, while a copy was posted on the wall for public access. The tallying of votes across the country will begin today. On the issue of challenges, members of the press, fellow Liberians, while the conduct of these elections were generally successful across the country, there were a few challenges. In Upper Nimba County, Electoral District Number 2, at the Tiapa Public School, Precinct Code Number 33100, comprising 2 polling places with a total number of 706 registered voters, did not open. Also, in Upper Nimba County, Electoral District Number 2, at the Wei Public School, Precinct Number 33052, with 1 polling place of 290 registered voters, did not open. In Bapolu County, Electoral District Number 3, at the Nomoda Tono Town Hall, Precinct Code Number 45039, comprising 4 polling places with 2021 registered voters, did not open. In Grand Jita County, Electoral District Number 3, at the Bablo Public School, Precinct Code Number 15001, with 1 polling place of 430 registered voters, did not open. The Commission hereby announces that the elections will be conducted in the 4 reference areas within the coming days, and an announcement to that effect will be made, and candidates and registered voters in those areas will be duly informed. There were other minor incidents here and there that were addressed. The Commission will continue to brief the public in the coming days. I thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. We will take a few questions if there are any. If not, please.
Yes, my name is Gerald, calling in Arad for Front Page Africa newspaper. Madam Chairperson, why did these police centers not open?
Okay, in Buffalo, Normal Datono Town Hall, the town chief seized the ballot box and denied voters the right to exercise their franchise. Voting did not take place there. To date, we have planned to send an assessment team to ascertain the facts surrounding the situation that emerged as a consequence of the action by the town chief in that area. Again, in Nimba, that is Upper Nimba, Tiapa Public School, there was the lack of polling staff to conduct the elections there. Then also in Nimba, Upper Nimba, Wai Public School, there was also the lack of polling staff to conduct the elections in those areas. In Grand Jide, Bablo Public School, residents there were told by some citizens not to vote because of a different county name written on the box, that is the ballot box. Even though the sticker placed on the box was for 15001. Voting did not take place in that area. And in Lower Nimba, Tapita Memorial School, 2 temporary staff were caught with polling box number 4. They took the boxes to their homes for safekeeping after the count. Police investigation revealed that the seals on the box are corresponding to the seal recorded by the party agents. NEC office took delivery of the T3 while investigation is ongoing. Voting took place, but the incident took place around 11:30 p.m. on December 8th, and thereafter midnight into December 9th. I think I've answered your question.
Yes, my name is Winston Bladin. I report for Banana FM. What can you say to Liberians, most especially one of the senators, the senatorial candidate in president of Sheikh Mustafa Kouyaté, have already posted considered defeat and congratulated his colleague. What can you say to Liberians as we await official result, which of course we know you?
You've answered the question yourself, sir, by saying that the NEC is the only authorized agency which has the mandate to conduct elections and has the mandate to announce the results. Next question.
Okay, my name is Yanti Toba, report for OKFM. But quickly, when are we expected to receive the first batch of provisional results? And then secondly, there was this incident where 2 persons were being apprehended with several voter registration cards. Has the commission been notified about this?
Okay, by law, we are to announce the results within 15 days. During this period, we also announce provisional results. As the tally is ongoing and those results get to the data center, we will announce the provisional results, probably in another 3 days or so. It will happen earlier than that.
About the 2 persons?
The second question is, we are aware of the situation and we are thankful to the Liberia National Police, which immediately intervened. Because it is a crime, the LNP is taking care of that. And the NEC will do everything it can to support that process. Next question.
Okay, my names are Angel Malema Morris, and I report for Sean FM and Sean TV Live. Well, yesterday, while on the radio conducting reporters to actually filing their reports from different destinations, we gathered from our reporters that they were actually not allowed to observe the counting process, so they were put outside. So how can you actually react to this? And also, it is also alleged that some polling centers were without electricity throughout the process yesterday. So why did that happen?
Okay, your last question is electricity.
Sure.
We know that in a country, Liberia, we don't have electricity everywhere. What the NEC uses is lanterns. Have you seen some of them?
Of course, I have
Yes.
seen them.
So we use lanterns to to ensure that there's some lighting system. If we get a building and there's electricity there, then of course we use it.
But we do have budget for elections, right? Don't you think these are modalities that need to be put in place? Electricity is very cardinal in counting the
Well,
ballots.
I don't think we have the kind of resources, to electrify all of the 2,080 precincts that we use. What is available, we use it. And what is needed, we make sure that that happens. And it happens by way of our lanterns.
Credibly,
Credibly for what? I don't understand your question, please,
using the
ma'am.
lanterns, because I was also part of the process, and certain polling centers were extremely dark. Like even when we interviewed some of those polling staffs, they reacted to the situation like we are not even seeing clearly. So was the process really credible? That's my
We
question.
also understood that they were using the phone lights, which also provide a current enough lighting to do their work.
So we'll take the
What
next
was your
question.
next question?
The
Your other
first question
Yeah.
has to do with journalists being deprived from entering the counting venues. They were stopped on grounds that they were not allowed. So how can you react to that?
Did this happen to all of the centers or just one you observed?
Not one. 3 of our reporters said it, and other roving reporters from different media institutions, they also said it.
I'm not privileged to that information, but again, we can find out what actually happened, and then we'll put in place next time a mechanism to ensure that if this is part of our process, and I myself I need some education on that, then of course we will ensure that reporters are where they are supposed to be. Next question.
Please, let us ask one question each, so to give the others chance to ask the question.
Madam
Please.
My name is Stephen G. Felajua, and I report for the Analyst
Can you
News.
raise your voice, please, sir?
My name is Stephen G. Felajua, and I report for the Analyst newspaper. You talk about some circumstances, including the one that happened in Lima, and then you talk about Manon incidences. So can you just describe what are those Manon incidences that you talk
Well,
about?
for instance, some people said that they couldn't find their names. They didn't know that we had tried to make it much easier for the voters by using your own name in alphabetical letters, that were posted on the wall. But there wasn't really a problem because every time you institute a new system, sometimes it's a little delayed for people to pick up. And but the alternative there was that you have registration IDs, and those numbers were used to locate where people were. So eventually it got on course.
Please.
That's an example of what you just asked.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Seko Kwane, and I report for Shkon FM, Shkon TV. Yesterday, we observed at certain polling centers where there were additional polling rooms added, like where some located in the factory. Previously, they have 6 polling rooms, and yesterday was added to 7. And Wisdom Heritage located at Kesedi Boulevard. Previously, they have 6 polling rooms and was added to 7. What led to the additional polling rooms to those various centers?
Okay, I will start, and then any other commissioner. I don't want to be selfish. Yeah, you can also join in to answer the question. I think partly to say that the previous polling rooms were allocated because of the number of registered voters. At the time we had 2.1 plus, but this time we have 2.4. So you need to position that population into extra polling places.
Please,
Next
Paul.
question.
Paul, let's go.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. My
Yes.
name is Paul Bordeaux. I report for the Eyes of the Globe newspaper. I observed that some of the who watchers told some of the voters or electors that they were not trained to the referendum. So if they wanted to vote for the referendum, that was their own choice. If not, they would leave it. And they were only trained to that of the Senate or one of the senatorial elections. Could you address yourself to that? And in fact, to say some of the who, I mean, rather electors, I was also included where I went to vote. I did not really show my ID card at the time as a journalist, but as an electorate to go to vote, and I was told that.
So what's your question, sir?
How do you address yourself to the issue of people who say they were not trained to that of the preposition, the referendum? How can they educate the electorate? So if they wanted to vote, I mean, for that, they should. If they did not want to, they should leave it alone. So my question is, how can you address yourself to that, whether they were trained or not?
They were trained. Next question.
My name is Estella Turin. I report for Lux FM. You mentioned a number of polling places in the counties that NEC staff didn't come to work. What was the cause?
Did you say that we mentioned that NEC staff didn't come to vote?
They were not at the center.
You want me to repeat the sentence, or you asking me why?
Why were the NEC
Why
staff
were they not there?
Yes.
Okay, as I told you earlier, we have launched an assessment into those areas. And we hope that the reports will come in soon, so we'll be able to address whatever happened there. Next question, please.
Yes, Madam Chair. You mentioned, I'm Jonathan, I report from Basra Online TV. You mentioned that some people had issue with finding their names because new measures were put in place. So were the voters educated about the new measures before going to the pool? That is about the name issue.
Well, at some point, I can say to you, yes, maybe they were not told, but you have queue controllers there who walked them through the process. Meaning that when you get there, instead of you, the normal thing that you are used to looking for numbers, the queue controllers told the voters that they were using letters, and those letters would be your name. So if I'm a Lansana, I'm going to look for L, and then when I find L, my next letter is A, then I look for LA, and I'm right where I'm supposed to be. For some, it was a little difficult, but again, I'm saying to you, after some time, people picked it up, and they were able to process themselves, they were able to vote. So that wasn't a real challenge per se.
Okay, my name is Emmanuel Kebo from the Women Forces newspaper. I visited 3 to 4 polling places yesterday.
Can you raise your voice, please, sir?
I visited 2 to 3 polling places yesterday, and what I noticed is some electorate being denied, especially the old-age people and disadvantaged people. To the 72nd barrack, the old-age were denied. To the Pinsville Town Hall, a pregnant woman was denied. One reason there was no preference given to the old-age people. Why?
Well, we put in place the mechanism for special measures for people with disabilities, including old people. If you witness something like that at a polling place, then we need to investigate. So if you have the details of where you went and you saw that happening, you please let us know so we can correct the staff that allegedly may have done this. Next question.
We'll take the last 3, please.
Okay.
Yes.
My name is James.
Your name is not Masale.
Wait. Okay, my name is Umar Kajala. I write for the
Your
news.
name is not Masale.
But Masale
Please go ahead.
My name is James Gude Flomo. I report for Spoon FM and Spoon TV. Yesterday, we witnessed an incident in the Matadi belt, specifically the Don Bosco voting center, where there was an allegation of a pre-marked ballot that your political affairs officer, Mr. Wieser, had to come in. It brought a serious commotion there, where the electorate said no voting was going to go on until the National Elections Commission displaced the pre-marked ballot that they alleged. And Wieser came in. It was confirmed that this ballot was marked, but the electorate went behind the, the box, the voting place, and he came out to say it was marked. So we want to know from the National Elections Commission, what have you done in looking at this thoroughly, because it has an integrity problem where somebody coming out to say the ballot was marked, and they allege that 3 ballot papers were pre-marked. Did you go through this after on the scene investigation or problem solving matter? What did you do or what you plan to do in solving it?
Okay, our initial reaction to that was to dispatch a team to the Don Bosco precinct to ascertain the facts. And you rightly mentioned that Ivy Wisse, who is the Director for Political Affairs, went to that location. I'm informed that the person in question, the voter, received ballots, did not look at them, went to the screen, behind the screen for some moments, and then he emerged in front of the ballot issuer and made his claim that, in fact, those ballots were pre-marked. Now, with the assessment team there, they tried to ascertain the fact, and I'm told that the ballot that he made reference to, he was asked to hand it over. It was put in a tamper evidence envelope, meaning that he claimed it was tampered with. Therefore, it was like, you want to use the word quarantine, by opening the envelope and putting it inside. He was issued another ballot. Not only that, before journalists as well as observers, the display of the batch from which they took that ballot that he claimed was marked was displayed in front of everyone there, and they saw that nothing else was on those ballots that were in front of the group.
Yeah, I'm so concerned.
So please,
just a follow-up.
give me a chance. Give me a chance. So I'm saying to you, what is important is that if anyone has a complaint, and we send a response team to make clarification, the election was just yesterday, just on a on a 12 hours. So to conduct a thorough investigation, it takes a little bit of time. But if there was clarity made there, and the issue was resolved, you say going forward, the Elections Commission will do nothing to pre-mark any ballot. And I will leave it there.
Yes, Reverend. Good afternoon, Madam Chairperson. My name is Reverend Charlie from Headquarters Radio. Can you kindly tell us the impact of these incidents you just mentioned in Baku and other parts of the country? What impact will they have on the electoral process?
I would say that there will be no grave impact because these incidents are not grave enough to overturn the process. We have been addressing them head on. We have put in place the mechanism to ensure that what I previously read to you concerning where trouble was and where elections were not held, we are sending assessment teams there to gather the facts. And those places where we have no elections, elections will be held there. Next question.
So we'll take the final question. David Mencher from the Liberian Observer. In follow-up to the Babalu incident, the security of the ballots, you said have been or were allegedly confiscated by the township or whoever did. How can the National Elections Commission address this issue, considering that we've gone several hours since the incident?
We just told you that we have an assessment team prepared to go and ascertain the facts. When we get the facts, we'll inform you accordingly.
So
And the last question.
That was the
We
last
can take
question.
2 or 3 more, just to satisfy your curiosity.
If there are any, I think the media is satisfied now. I'd like to say thanks again for coming on this notice, and we will call you back as soon as we have the next press conference. Thanks also to